Hi guys, so today's video is going to be on how to choose your university halls or university accommodation if you're going into your first year. I am currently a first year and I'm almost at the end of my first year, so I kind of know a bit about what I'm talking about. And also at my university I'm a student ambassador, so on open days I have shown people around accommodation and I have to know about accommodation, so I'm pretty much not an expert, but I know a lot of information which may help you. So the first thing to consider is, are you actually having accommodation at university or are you going to commute? Because if you're commuting, you don't need to worry about any of this. However, if you are getting accommodation at university, then the first two things you need to think about are whether you're going to get university managed accommodation or private accommodation. So if you're getting private accommodation, then you're renting from someone who isn't the university, so an estate agent or a private landlord. I can't really help you with those other than just make sure the accommodation is in good condition and you're not getting ripped off and that it's not too far from university. But for university managed accommodation, at my university I know that around this sort of time of year, around like February to April time, they give you an email which says it's time to choose your accommodation, and you have to choose from either halls or other university managed accommodations like housing, and then you have to pick 3 options, and they do it on a first come first served basis. So they try to give you your first option, then if they can't give you that, your second, if they can't give you that, your third, and if you've applied really late, they might not be able to give you any of those, they might have to give you something else. If your university does the same sort of thing as that, it's a good idea to try and do it within the first day that thing goes live, because I know at my university I picked mine on the first day and I got my accommodation that I wanted the most, and then I know people that applied maybe 2 weeks afterwards and they did not get their top accommodation. So it is worth bearing in mind that it is on a first come first served basis normally. So the first thing to consider when you want to choose your accommodation is it catered or self-catered? My accommodation is self-catered just because I kind of wanted to cook for myself, and also a lot of the time in self-catered accommodation it will be kind of more expensive because you're paying for the food on top of the accommodation. And also at my university, if you have self-catered, you normally have an ensuite, and if you have catered, you normally don't have an ensuite, and I personally wanted an ensuite. An ensuite is the next thing to consider. Do you want an ensuite, or do you mind sharing with people? I personally, for me, I'm a girl, so I get that time of month. So I personally didn't really want to share with people, and also I'm one of those people that as soon as I wake up I have to go into my bathroom, and so I kind of wanted my own bathroom because of that. And also just it's really nice to have because I can go in there when I want, which sounds really weird, but I don't have to worry about queuing for it or if anyone else leaves it dirty, because it's up to me to clean. If you want a shared bathroom, if you don't mind that, normally they're a lot cheaper. And also I know at my university if you have a shared bathroom, then there's a cleaner that comes and cleans it for you, so if you don't want to clean a bathroom, that may be a good option. Oh, and I forgot to mention, for catered or self-catered, if you are being self-catered, you can kind of pick and choose when you eat, and you can also pick what you eat, and you're kind of more in charge of just your general money and food. Whereas if you're doing catered, then you normally get a catering allowance, and it's normally only for the weekdays and not the weekends, so you'd have to pay for food at the weekends as well on top of that. But if you are a terrible cook and you really don't want to cook, then that is a good option. Or if you're just worried that you won't be able to get to the shops, or if you won't be able to cook properly for yourself, then catered is a really good option. In a way it does actually save you money, because if you're going home at the weekends, you don't need food for the weekends. Or if you're going out on the weekends, then it does save money, and you don't have to worry about buying food and then it going out of date, or doing a really big expensive shop and then having to find a way to get it home. And so they both have the perks and the cons. And then the next thing to consider is the noise levels. At my university they do quiet or moderately quiet, so the quiet accommodation is no loud noise at any time. Obviously you can talk and you can have music and stuff, but it just can't be so loud that other people can hear it. And then I'm in moderately quiet, and basically you can have noise in here up to 11 p.m, and then after 11 p.m. it should be quiet. It never normally is, but it should be. For my accommodation, I didn't actually choose moderately quiet. I put no preference because I just really wanted this accommodation. So I was like, I don't care what noise it is, I just have to deal with it if it's really loud. Luckily my flatmates are normally all quiet apart from one, but I'm not right next to him, so it's not too bad. So that's another thing to consider. One of the most important things is location. At my university, all the accommodation that's halls is basically all on campus. However, we have 2 campuses, but there's only like a single road in between them, so it's not too bad. But if you're at a big city university, the campus may be spread out all over the city. And so if you've got your accommodation here, and then your university lectures are all over the other side of town, you're going to have to getting up early and either getting a bus or walking. And whereas if your accommodation is actually on site, then you literally can roll out of bed and be there within 1 minute, which is what I kind of do, because my accommodation is literally like the top of the hill, and then my classes are at the bottom of the hill, which is like a 2-minute walk. It's really good. And then I know that some people are in my accommodation and then they have classes on the other campus, so they have to walk up another hill, which is only a 5-minute walk, but it means they have a longer walk. And then I've also got some friends that are in university managed housing, and the houses that are managed by the university are like a 20 to 40-minute walk away from university, so they have a long walk, although it's not too bad, although it is all uphill. So they're not very happy about that. So that is one thing to consider. One of the main things about accommodation is price. Accommodation all over the country kind of varies in price. Obviously I've got the main 3 accommodation halls where I am. There's one which is quite old, so that's the cheapest. The one where I am is the middle price because it's an ensuite, and it's got the biggest bedrooms, however it's not the newest. And then there's the newest one, which is an extra like £200 or £300 more than mine, which is also ensuite, but they have tiny bedrooms, but they have bigger kitchens for some reason. I wanted an ensuite, and so I knew I couldn't go for the cheapest option, but then I didn't want to pay a ridiculous amount, so I was like, right, I'm just going to go for the middle one. If you want to save loads of money, go for the cheapest one, because the cheapest one here is like £3,500, which is really good. Some of my friends, if they're getting like the £8,200 loan, then they're saving like the £5,000 left over for like everything else, whereas my accommodation is about like 5,400, I want to say, something like that, which is a big price difference, an extra £2,000 literally just for your own bathroom. And the fact that it's slightly newer, which is kind of ridiculous, but I like it. I like where I am, I don't like the price, but yeah, that's kind of, I guess that's kind of normal, I don't know. Kind of okay with paying that much because it's not the most expensive one, and I get my own bathroom. And then if you really don't care about price, then you could just go for the most expensive one, or if that's the one that you really like. But if you do want to save money, then it's always worth looking at the cheapest one, or like if you get the minimum loan, then, and you don't want to like hurt your parents' bank account too much, then it is always worth looking at the cheapest accommodation. Or even if you get the full loan and you just want to save money, then, you know, it all comes down to price of accommodation really. And obviously you do kind of get what you pay for, but then at the same time, university accommodation is mainly quite the same. Like there's not too many differences between them, apart from maybe if you get an ensuite or not ensuite, or if you get catering or self-catered, or like how new it is. But apart from that, there's not too much difference when it comes to like what the actual accommodation is like. It's mainly just the price that is different. And obviously I talked about university managed housing a little bit earlier. For university managed housing, if you want to go into that, then it's basically just a house with like maybe 4 or 5 other people. It depends how big the house is, and you basically each get your own room with a shared kitchen, shared bathroom, and although you do get a washing machine and normally a tumble dryer, which is always a perk because I have to pay to get my washing done, and it's not fun because half of the washing machines are broken all of the time. University managed housing is a thing to consider. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you a lot. I know I really needed a video like this last year when I was looking, and if you like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!